Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the life, the ideas, and the ideology of one of the most influential and controversial conservative voices in America, Charlie Kirk. Who is he? Why did he become such a powerful figure among young conservatives? And what does his ideology really stand for? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of not just the man himself, but also the movement he helped shape. Early life and background. Charlie Kirk was born in 1993, in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. He grew up in a middle-class family. Unlike many political leaders who built their careers after long years of formal education, Charlie Kirk took a very different path. He did not attend an Ivy League college. In fact, he enrolled briefly at Baylor University, but soon dropped out. Instead, he threw himself directly into the world of activism, convinced that the classroom was not the only place to learn politics. This decision shaped his future. It also gave him credibility among young Americans who often feel disconnected from traditional political institutions. Kirk himself has said that he always had a passion for history, politics, and debate. By his teenage years, he was already writing opinion pieces and speaking out against what he saw as liberal dominance on college campuses. Founding Turning Point USA. In 2012, at only 18 years old, Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA, PUSA. The mission of Turning Point was simple but ambitious: to organize young conservatives on college campuses, to challenge what Kirk called the liberal monopoly in education, and to create a counterforce that could inspire conservative values in America's youth. Over time, PUSA grew from a small student group to a national organization with millions of dollars in funding and thousands of student members. They held campus events, organized speaking tours, and launched media campaigns that directly targeted young people. Their signature style? Energetic, bold, and unapologetically conservative. PUSA became known for its viral videos, debates, and culture war messaging. Kirk branded himself as someone who would take the conservative fight into the heart of American universities, which he believed were dominated by progressive ideology. The core of Charlie Kirk's ideology. Now let's break down what Charlie Kirk's ideology really is. 1. Limited government. At the heart of his worldview is the belief that government should be small, limited, and focused only on essential roles. He argues that big government leads to dependency, inefficiency, and corruption. Instead, he champions free markets, individual entrepreneurship, and personal responsibility as the foundation of prosperity. Free market capitalism. Kirk believes capitalism is the greatest system for lifting people out of poverty. According to him, America's success story is built on free enterprise, not government handouts. This belief is not just economic, it is philosophical. For Kirk, free markets represent freedom itself, because they give individuals the power to control their own destiny. 3. Faith and Christianity. Another core part of his ideology is religion. Kirk is a vocal Christian and argues that America's founding principles are deeply rooted in Judeo-Christian values. He often emphasizes the role of faith in shaping morality, law, and culture. For him, without religion, society drifts into chaos and relativism. 4. Cultural conservatism. Kirk is heavily engaged in the so-called culture wars. He criticizes what he calls the radical left's agenda on gender, sexuality, race, and family. In his view, traditional values like marriage, family, and community are under attack, and defending them is as important as defending the economy. 5. American exceptionalism. Kirk is a firm believer that the United States is not just another country, it is a unique, exceptional nation with a mission. He often highlights the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the principles of liberty as proof that America is a shining city on a hill. He rejects the idea that America is inherently racist or oppressive, and instead argues that it is the most free and successful country in history. 6. Free speech and debate. One of Kirk's most popular stances, especially among young people, is his defense of free speech. On college campuses, he argues, conservative voices are silenced, censored, or mocked. PUSA events are designed to break that silence, to show students that they can speak up without fear. His communication style. Charlie Kirk is not a traditional politician. He's not a senator, not a governor, not a lawyer. He is a communicator. And this is what made him successful. Kirk mastered social media, podcasts, YouTube, and live events. He knew that in the 21st century, winning hearts and minds is less about passing bills and more about controlling narratives. His speaking style is sharp, confident, and often combative. He thrives in debates, often inviting students to challenge him with tough questions. This "prove me wrong" style became a signature tactic that boosted his profile online. Supporters and critics. Like any influential figure, Charlie Kirk has both strong supporters and fierce critics. Supporters say he gave young conservatives a voice in a hostile environment. He created a space for debate on campuses where conservative views are often silenced. He energized the conservative movement with fresh energy and boldness. Critics say he oversimplifies complex issues. He often uses provocative language that deepens division. Some accuse him of spreading conspiracy theories or misinformation. His focus on culture wars sometimes overshadows more practical policy discussions. The truth likely lies somewhere in the middle. What's undeniable is that Charlie Kirk sparked debate, and debate is exactly what he wanted. Tragedy and legacy. Recently, Charlie Kirk's story took a tragic turn. During a speaking event at Utah Valley University, he was shot and killed. This shocking event sent waves across America. For his supporters, it was the loss of a young leader who had dedicated his life to his cause. For critics, it raised difficult questions about political violence and the dangers of polarization. But his organization, Turning Point USA, has vowed to continue his mission. They say his ideas will live on, his influence will endure, and his vision for America's youth will not be forgotten. Strengths and weaknesses of his movement. Strengths: mobilized young conservatives nationwide. Gave conservatives a voice in higher education. Mastered digital media as a tool for political change. Weaknesses: sometimes more rhetoric than policy. Accusations of being divisive. Reliance on us vs them narratives that may alienate moderates. Charlie Kirk was not a politician in the traditional sense. He was an activist, a communicator, and above all, a fighter in America's culture wars. Whether you agree with him or disagree with him, there is no denying his impact. He inspired thousands of young people to get involved in politics, to believe in their ideas, and to take a stand. In the end, Charlie Kirk's legacy will not just be measured by the speeches he gave or the controversies he sparked, it will be measured by the generations of young conservatives who carry his message forward. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of Charlie Kirk and his ideology? Do you see him as a visionary or a divider? Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and never stop asking questions.